Positive vibration and good day to everyone. This is Major. Thank you for tuning in news, facts, and comments conjunction with Major TV, a Cody Speaks, and our new podcast, Concern Versus. And let me bring on my host. We have a Cody Speaks. How you doing, sister?
I'm doing fantabulous. How are you today, sir?
Beautiful. And we have the lovely Jimily. How you doing, sister?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm great. And we have Brother Roland. How you doing, brother?
I'm all right, brother. How you?
I'm good. Your camera acting up. But today we have a very, very, very um to me important conversation to talk about. Before I get into that, I want to thank everybody viewing. I want you to like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new to the platform. This is a very um intimate conversation, as well as a conversation I think that's needed in our community. As I was doing my research, um, I I seen what they have had several conversations or what have you. You cool with your camera looking like that, Roland?
What's the matter with it?
It got you doubling sideways.
I don't know what's why it's doing that. How that looking? How that
Yeah,
look?
That's
I'm
better.
look
That's
better,
better.
look better.
okay.
Um, um, and and if people don't know, we do have a podcast we started a couple of months ago. It's on YouTube, Concern Versus Podcast, which is also being live. It's also live on YouTube. We are live on like I think three or four platforms, Major TV, Cody Speaks, News Facts and Comments, and CVP. And we're trying to build up these platforms. You miss one, you got another platform that's doing this. And before we get into discussion, I just want to know from each one of you what's your idea about the gender war and what you think about it.
I didn't even know it was a thing. I'm sorry, call me a dinosaur or whatever, but I didn't even realize it was a thing until you said that, that was going to be your topic for discussion. So I did a little bit of research on it, and apparently, from what I can tell, it's the opinion of the masses is kind of split on it. Some people say it's a hoax, or it's not really a thing, and other people feel strongly that it is. But that's my initial take on it. But we'll get into further details as the conversation goes on.
What about you, Cody? Rolling your camera still messed up. What about you, Jim Lee? I mean,
Well,
Mm.
in truth, I think the gender wars exist on social media because all that's where I've seen it. I have not seen it play out in reality. It may exist, but I have to be honest, where I am, I haven't seen it, as in black men and women going at each other in the way that they do on social media. So I think it's a social media thing, to be quite honest.
what about you, Roland? In
I'm in
brief,
total.
in brief.
Yes, I think it's just a solely media ploy because I haven't seen it myself. But
Well, I gotta just let y'all know where I'm coming from and why I picked the subject, and this personally affect me. Um, and the angle when I'm coming from, I'm really talking about relationships. Um, a lot of time, when you meet somebody, you coat, you date, what have you, somebody you really like, you're really trying to see if you share stuff in common. You're trying to see the future of that person, yourself, and the direction of it, right? And for me, the reason why I feel like it's prevalent in our community because we have to understand it's not cheating per se that separate people. A lot of time it because of the lack of agreeing on finances. One for one for saving and building, the other one for spending and living it up, right? And for me, I feel like people been together, be together for years. Now I know personally, and feel about everything, right? And for me, I feel like when you're in a situation whereas you didn't talk to that person you're with, and y'all basically agreed upon, once you get to know that person, um, the direction of the relationship, right? throughout time, it's supposed to manifest into what you agreed upon. But what I noticed is that both parties take different directions and they become an internal conflict, right? Whereas one not supporting the other, um, there's undermining and sometimes self-destruction, right? That leads to other things. And I can say personally that if you're not if you're not thinking along the same line, not saying you got to be exact. Nobody is the same. We all are different, what have you. But at least have majority things in common, right? For me personally, the reason why relationships don't meet its pinnacle because it's not agreed upon in the way whereas they both sincere and wanting to tackle their goals and achieve. A lot of time the man take a whole different U-turn or the female take a whole nother U-turn. And you gotta realize if one pulling left and one pulling right, you know what I'm saying? That's an issue. Then when you bring in racism, right? You deal with you bring in um the feminine movement the movement on with men as far as they want to be in control, they want to be dominant. You bring in social media, you're bringing all you're bringing the income factor, you're bringing the stress aspect. You know what I'm saying? It becomes a larger problem that when you look at the research on it, what have you, and you look at the increase of divorces, you look at the increase of breaking up, and you look at the increase of sometimes even violence, right? A lot of that stems from the stresses and what have you. And for me personally, like when you don't have a direct, like connection to the source and reference to the foundation you're trying to build off of, it can go bad. And for me personally, I've met so many people that literally don't evolve because they don't agree. They just get along and get along. They just been together forever, but they really don't see a common go out the situation. So, because people in life, you're supposed to evolve. You don't supposed to be in the same place. You know what I'm saying? Like you happen to call dog and what have you saving money and not considering inflation, not concerning technology, AI, and this, that, and other. Then when things um do evolve and you stuck right there, you don't have nobody to blame but you. So for me, I think a big issue with the gender war is that people are not agreeing, and if you leave from a relationship, same way right now, when you just look at black males and black females, they just don't agree. You know what I'm saying? And when you got people that don't agree, and you got people that's pulling in one direction versus another direction, there's no real true understanding in what they're trying to do or what they're trying to say. Even though both sides might have valid points, but in the end, if you can't agree, how can you evolve and grow? And I'm gonna stop right there.
Is that, can I say, is that because, let's go back to the beginning, is that because people are not taking the time to get to know each other properly? Most times you might either meet at a club or in a bar and you like how each other look, but no one's getting into the depth of what the person's a mindset is, what their goals are. These are the things that you should be discussing before you get into a full-blown relationship and then find out, hold on, that person is not of the same mindset as I am. And for me, it starts at the beginning. Um, for instance, you should be, by discussing it with a person, be able to see, is that person only with me for money? Is she only out for a good time? Or is this person serious? Does this person want commitment? Is this person willing to grow with me? Can we grow together? I think because we're not taking the time to do those things anymore, that is where you get dysfunction in relationships, because by the time you find out that this person may not have the ambition that you have, you're in it, you might have children, so you just stay. But you don't change, you don't evolve, you don't grow. And then, of course, that could lead to broken homes. If anyone agrees or disagrees, please let me know.
Well, this what I would say about this. We don't have any examples where that's prevalent in mainstream media that's positive. What we have in mainstream media is reality TV shows, and a lot of people um, don't realize that the reality TV shows are staged. That's not real life. In real life, you have to have a plan, even if you're in love. Love does not supersede the plan, and I think that a lot of people go into shacking up for love and not for um, financial stability. And when they don't have a clear plan when working together, and it's just all about their feelings, then it's bound to it's bound to fail because there's no clear cut objective. There's no clear cut roles.
But isn't that what I was saying, Akoti? They don't get to find out about each other sufficiently.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just
Yeah,
elaborating
I
on.
understand, but I'm just saying, isn't that what I was just saying? So we're in agreement. We are agreeing.
Yeah, no, yeah, we are agreeing that you don't take the time to get to know each other, but we don't. Even if you take the time to get to know each other, that's how you get to fall in love. We still don't come before we make a decision to say we're going to shack up and move in with each other. We don't have that hard, honest conversation about where we want our relationship to be in 20, 30, 40 years. We're just doing it. We're acting out of feelings instead of acting out of responsibility for what what a life with someone should look like. You know what I'm saying? Not we're just doing it for love and not for stability reasons. That has to come into play as well. It has to make sense. I can love you all day long, right? But if you're not capable of providing in a way that I know that my lifestyle will dictate, then it's pointless to be with you, regardless to if I love you. But if we're not having those conversations about where I want my life to go and what I want my life to look like 20, 30 years from now, then and then 20, 30 years from now, you wake up and you're miserable because this person has no clue that this is what you want. So you're at odds. So I think that's mostly what creates the gender war right there, the lack of communication. You're not sharing your most intimate thoughts about where you want to be in 20, 30 years, if that person even fits into that scenario. We're not looking long term, we're only looking short term and in our feelings.
Roland, what's your take on it? Fix your camera, Roland. You looking? You need to cut your camera off, man. You can't fix it.
We got two are rolling. He's
I
special.
got y'all
Oh,
got two
that's
of me.
lovely.
Hey,
I
just
want to
cut
see
your
Tua
camera
rolling.
off, man. You just
How
your
you want
camera.
me to turn the camera off?
Just cut your camera. Yeah, just cut it off, man. Just cut it off.
Okay, you can hear me.
There we go.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Logo sideways.
Hey, rolling leaning to the side today, y'all.
We listening, Roland.
He's Mr. Super Cool. Leave him alone. He's leaning to the side.
Like, but anyway, most gender wars take place in the courtroom in divorce court. That's the only time I really see gender wars transpire is within the courtroom. The same something that made them get together. They lost that love, they lost that feeling, and it just turned messy. It just turned messy because we not placing understanding on what we want out of one another. Let's put it on the table right then and there. What's your expectation of me? And when I don't reach that certain expectation, person just feel like I waste my time with you and this and that. And that's when the confusion and the conflicts transpire. And it gets messy when kids is involved. And gender wars is truly take place within the courtroom. That's what it take place within the courtroom. As I walk through the community, I do not see gender wars going on. So just like a Gemini was saying, it's just a social media ploy to me too.
I mean, I totally disagree with all three of y'all. I don't know if y'all been in the rock. I don't know who y'all communicate with, but I talked to a lot of people that's really going through it, complaining about their spouses. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give y'all some serious pushback. You got people that do everything right in reference to the communicating, what have you, creating, what have you. I mean, like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But some people mask themselves and some people change. Like you got the revolution of BBLs, right? Once they got their body taken care, what have you, their whole attitude is, nah, it's about me, blah, 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 right? And now, you know what I'm saying, you have a situation where the man feeling a certain kind of way, you know what I'm saying? And then the woman taking a whole radical change and whatnot. Then you got the music, but you had the men degrading the women and all this crazy stuff. Now you got the women doing that, and they're saying, hey, you want the pussy, you gotta pay. You know what I'm saying? We got some real stuff going on we don't see, and that's gender wars. It's not just social media. There's people that you don't even know going through something right now. Because at one time they agreed up on this, and people got to remember, people change. People do change. So if people change, I can't control and Jimmy, if I'm with Jimmy or Cody or whomever, right? And we've been together, we did everything. But then a Cody or Jimmy have they'll do a whole 190. I think that social media played a lot of stuff on, but people don't realize social media represent the community. People really look for validation. People do have issues with black men, do have issues with black women, do have issues with the black community. We do deal with racism. We do deal with a lot of things that we might think, it's not real. But I just feel like, and I'm surprised that y'all haven't met people that just talked about their relationship, what they're going through, so forth, so on. And I do agree. And what happened? What that is right there? Hello, y'all can hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Yes,
we can hear you.
Hey, what's on the screen?
My bad.
What is
You
she
good?
doing? We got a whole discussion. Let me be the host. Don't surprise us like that. We need to.
Hey, Cody, you cut the guy's flow. What's going on?
I'm so sorry. My bad. My bad. My bad. You. When you was talking, my brother, you made me think of something that this other guy said. I was like, and then y'all kind of dressed alike too. I was like, whoa, that guy just said that. But go ahead, my brother. I'm gonna let him play it when you finish.
Go
My
there.
bad.
Don't
My
smoke
bad.
that good stuff right now. Wait till we finish. Anyway, it's a real issue in our community, and I don't think y'all realize a lot of couples in a bubble because of racism. You know what I'm saying? Because of issues with employment, entrepreneurship, and making money, right? And I feel like the black community has been a bubble. The ones who come outside the bubble and do great things, we don't know how to appreciate it because they're not talking black, they're not doing blah blah blah, right? Or they're not talking what we think we should talk. So there are real issues going on around us, and I don't think we realize a lot of us in a bubble, we don't even see it because it's like we know we can't go on the side of tracks. We know how the banks is. We know, what I'm saying, how the government is. There's a lot we deal with stress-wise. And in relationships, we don't even know how to deal with that. And that trickles into the relationship too, based on the research I was giving. You know what I'm saying? And then
Mhm. I'm just saying, yes, I'm agreeing with you.
the hood mindset, how we treat each other in the hood, how men handle women in the worstest way sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And call a woman a bitch is just cool, you know what I'm saying? The N-word just cool, it's some things going on. I think we just good actors. I think we just put on, for people like we good on the outside, but inside we're really going through things that's not really being addressed and psychologically and emotionally. It have a, it went on us like we be hearing about the suicidal thing with the man killer woman and killing himself. You know what I'm saying? Or we hear about somebody taking their life. Those are real stresses that we deal with. So for me personally, I think this is a real issue that have nothing to do with social media. Prior to social media, I remember my mom and dad had the issues back in the day, right? So my thing is, I do agree that some people do get in a relationship for all the wrong reasons. I'm not gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? And I do also agree that people do the event and what have you. And some people are mad. Some people do put on, and some people I think do get the message, but they change. People change, you know. And with this culture of social media where people want to be in front of the camera, want to talk, want to show their body off, you know, all this other stuff, right? To get off of the dysfunctional stuff. I don't think I think we really undercutting a lot of things that's going on in our community that we just not aware of that's really real and that's affecting many black families. And I'm gonna yell the mic on that.
I, I mean, major. A lot of what you said, I agree with. But as I said, I have to be realistic about what I see. I'm not married, but a lot of my friends are, or with partners, and some of the struggles that you're describing, I don't see. Whether they have them and they're not telling me, which could be the case, I don't know. The gender wars I seem to be, it seems to me that people delight, especially on social media. This is what I've seen on social media, and I have to just talk about what I've seen in denigrating the black man, in denigrating the black woman. Um, if you're in a relationship where that is going on, it's a toxic relationship, and that has to be evaluated. And if what you're saying is this is reality, then no wonder we're bringing out dysfunctional children. Because if we've got dysfunctional homes, you bring out dysfunctional children. And that's my take on it. I don't know. I'll yield to the others.
I think the issue is the fear of commitment, like a real commitment. Um, and when you fear a real commitment, you are you're flexible. Things can change. Stuff is fluid. You move around, and that's just the bottom line. There's no real commitment to family in our community, and I think that's at the crux of the matter. That when there's no commitment to the relationship, then a relationship can't really be defined, and if the relationship can't be defined, then the roles can't be defined, the goals can't be defined. So once again, it's all about stability, and it's all about communicating with that one person, or making a decision. Is this my life partner, for better or for worse? Meaning, whether if I'm down, we both down. When we
But
up, we both up. It's about
yeah, but
commitment. It's about commitment, and people are not making that commitment. Even people that have children together are not making that commitment and that vow to stay together, even if it's just for the sake of the children. And
but
that's just
no,
not
That's my very point, Cody.
no
See, you
one's
leaving out a nice little piece of that, but I'm gonna let you finish. But there is a reason why, and I don't blame them if they're not in agreement. You know, I'm gonna let you finish though.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's not that I'm disagreeing with anything that you've previously said. I'm not disagreeing with anything anyone on the panel has said. What I'm saying to you is this. This is my take on the gender war thing, the lack of commitment on both parts, commitment to the relationship. There is no war if you have commitment and loyalty and resolve, right? It's a war if there's tension. Where the tension comes in is because there's a conflict. There's no war if there's no conflict.
See, I think what's valuable that I think y'all not really taking account. Y'all keep saying social media. Y'all should thank social media because social media is reflecting.
I never said anything about social media.
No, I'm saying I say y'all. It's more than just you. I mean plural, rolling. I'm just saying that, right? Saying to say that it's really revealing the true nature of people, how they think, how they feel. Forget the relationships, right? Let's just deal with the black man and black woman. There's a major conflict, you know what I'm saying?
there
That's
is.
so understand that. Women are coming in power because of how they've been suppressed. Um, just treated awful. You know what I'm saying? By everybody, even black men, of course. So that's a big issue. And so my thing is, That's a gender war within itself. But I think we misinterpret. I think the title itself, gender war, just strong people. I'm talking about black men and women are lining up. You know what I'm saying, with their goals to be successful. Because I just feel like what we see today 50, 60 years ago is entirely different, because of social, political, economic dynamics. But I'm just saying that just to kind of bring clarity, because I agree with you're saying and whatnot, and I'm just saying that there's a reason why people are not committing or wanting to not go all the way because of that.
Well, it's sad that there's no commitment. Akoti, I agree with you. Major, I agree with you also. It is sad. But again, for you to commit, you have to have that vision. And a lot of people don't have that vision. So they're meeting someone, and it also depends on their motives behind getting with someone. A lot of it, as Major said earlier, some women are with men just for their money. Some guys are with women just for sex. And so there's no thought about future. And as you say, no commitment. But if you're not thinking about the future, if you're just thinking about a bang, a quick one off, you're not going to be thinking about a future or commitment. And that is the problem. It's about thinking about what we are meeting up with brothers and sisters for. What are our motives? Is this to settle down, start a family, grow together? And most young people you talk to, they'll say, no, 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 I just want to have some fun.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, Jim Lee, but I think what we gotta really consider, we gotta be serious about this. Divorce is a big issue. Divorce is
Yeah,
a big issue. People don't want to lose what they built. You know what I'm saying? And it be divided. Like Dr. Umar Johnson said, on marriage is economics. You know what I'm saying? People thinking about that. Well, damn, if I marry her and we already on shaky grounds, and I got a project I'm working on, and I know it can bring me in millions, I'm like, I'm not saying the wife or the girlfriend are deserving of it, because I don't know what part she will have played, right? I'm just saying, vice versa, boyfriend or husband. People considering all that too, and not jumping to get married, because the traditional marriage thing is no longer. It's no longer, the divorce in our community is high. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very high. And so for me, my thing is we got to consider all that too. Why people kind of hesitant with that, because people are quick to go to them people, whether it's for child support or whether it's for divorce and getting a lawyer and trying to get what they can get. And I met several brothers like, man, whatever you do. I had a brother recently, don't get married. A few brothers told me that. Oh, man, just think about it before you do it, because it can bring wreak havoc to your life. And that
yeah,
goes on both sides, men and women.
yeah. Well, I have a friend who was doing quite well property wise, and she had several properties in quite a prestigious and luxurious area in London. And she got with a guy. Um, they got divorced, and he got half her properties despite never having put a penny in. So yes, it does work both ways. Um, and it's sad that we're having these gender wars, because we as a race need to survive. Birth rates are dropping, bar Africa, I might add, but birth rates in the West are dropping. So, somehow this has to be resolved. And again, you wonder what young black men are being taught and what young black women are being taught as to why, because the conflict has to have started somewhere. Something has to have been said or done as to why there is this conflict.
Well, let me go to that video that I wanted to share with y'all, and I want y'all to just ponder on the video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this brother brought out some points that you both were saying, so I want to go ahead and get someone else to like confirm what y'all are saying, and then we'll talk about it. Hold on 1 second.
And I think us as black people have to genuinely start questioning where our ideas come from. But even the tradition that we quote unquote stand on, that's not ours either. That if you are a descendant of slaves, your moral fabric was forced upon you. What you measure men and women by was forced on you. The notion that you had of village, of being communal, of collectively raising the kids in your village, of there being no separation of powers between men and women, but instead a recognition of a difference in power, that's tradition that you had. This notion that a man is above and superior, this notion that a woman is supposed to be docile and meek and only make a home, bro, that don't belong to you. That man, woman, a gender non-conforming, I don't care who subscribed to it, and I'm not telling you you can't. But if we're ever going to move past what it's doing to us, then you gotta be honest about where you got it.
Gotta be honest about where you got it.
Have you ever heard of the time Jay-Z was threatened live?
You know what I'm saying? So are we following the ways of our oppressors in this time, trying to be in these relationships? Like, is there supposed to be a breadwinner per se? Is there supposed to be someone that's going to just take care of the kids, educate the kids? Not the kids, I'm sorry, the children, educate the children. You know, are we going to allow the king to be the king and the queen stay in her place? What is that place for a queen? I think those are some questions that need to be answered when we're talking about this gender war, because after all, we're talking about the roles of a man and a woman. Like, let's define those roles and what's those roles in the relationship in these days and times. Because your brother said go back to the days of our ancestors, how they lived, you know, and saying that the way that we are, or our expectations in a relationship is based on the oppressors. What do y'all think about that?
Well, I agree.
Say something on Jim Lee. He haven't been saying nothing.
Okay.
Green screen. I'm sorry. I need to hear him talk. He ain't saying nothing. What's up, Roland?
I can't say nothing. You hear me?
Loud and clear.
They can hear me now?
We can hear you, but you're green.
I don't know what's going on. The screen turned green. I'm just listening.
Don't worry about Roland. Don't worry about Roland. You can talk with Jim Lee.
Roland, we can hear it. Roland, can you hear us?
Y'all can hear y'all now. Go ahead.
Come on, talk. Can you heard the conversation? Like, come on in, man. Come on in.
No, I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna correspond with you. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So what I was gonna say was that again, we've bought into this concept of individuality when we were never that way. Even after slavery, I don't know about the US, but I can talk about the Caribbean. It was very communal. Everybody knew everybody. Everybody's child was a child belonged to everyone. So basically, you could do something wrong up the road and someone else could correct you. Another adult could correct you. So basically, I think we do need to focus not on what was given to us, but what we had, what we instinctively had, even after 400 or whatever years of slavery. I totally agree with the gentleman in the video.
I'm gonna say this: we are westernized. We're gonna be westernized, and it'll take a miracle for us to change. Because everything we do come from them. I think the day and age of the traditions and what have you, some can be practiced, but we really are very truly indoctrinated. It's hard to really completely get it from it. We can practice some, but I think there's a different situation going on. There's no real power struggle. Both people have to do their part. The black man, the black woman. Ain't no such thing. If you're not a millionaire, if you're not in a position where you have a strong cash flow to hold it down, the woman got to do something. I think a lot of women, especially attractive in our community, I hate to say it, a lot of them are stuck on stupid about their looks and do not put forth the effort to understand what it takes. And I know there's women out here that's really, really putting it down, and the men not doing jack, right? So there's a situation whereas it's like damn you do, damn you don't. But we in a day and age whereas, yeah, culturally we should definitely try to incorporate that in our daily lives. But we are really indoctrinated, you know what I'm saying? And to get away from that, it's gonna take a minute, you know. And like I said again, we have to work together to build, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of crazy because when I look at our millionaires and billionaires, I think about how they get there. You know what I'm saying? The ingenious side and so forth, so on. How the black woman or how the black man played a part in helping them build them. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, people at the bottom, you know what I'm saying? Like us, we need some team playing. Don't get me wrong. Most of the weight should fall on the man. I do agree with that. I agree with that. You know, most of the weight should fall on the man. You know what I'm saying? And in some cases, you got the women that can hold the weight because of their situation financially. But I just feel like it's a team sport right now. We can't get caught up on the nonsense that take away from our goal. When I look at the fact that we're not producing, manufacturing, what have you, on a large scale, we're doing some here and there, but not on a large scale. And when I look at how this government and this society have not just condemned us, but literally suppressed us, and now you got the immigrants, the people coming from different um, other parts of the world, and they taking the job, the housing, and there's a lot going on that's bringing a lot of stress in the relationship. And then a woman looking at the man, you know, what you gonna do? And the man looking at the woman, and he pointing his finger for whatever reason and what have you, and you having this big old, you know, breakdown communication. Because you gotta realize a lot of people, a lot of melanated people deal with melanated people because nobody really trying to deal with us. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They got a jungle fever and stuff like that. But white people over here, Asians over there, Arabs over here, Indian, they all over, right? And, you know, like I said, we already segregated, so we really forced to deal with each other. And I think it's a beautiful thing in reference to making sure we keep some kind of racial loyalty and bloodline for our, you know, for our children to follow and what have you, but also incorporate the culture aspect and economics and the political social part to build our community. But like Cody said, like if families are going through the gender war, this, that, another. Oh no, I think a Jim said that. Well, we can. I don't know. One of y'all said that we can see what's going on with our kids, but there's a real issue with our kids. A lot of our kids that's coming from homes where two families sometimes getting caught up in gangs and stuff like that, or really don't have a true direction and become more Eurocentric and they think and what have you, become a Candace Owens or Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson and whatnot, and don't really embrace our values and stuff like that. So I said a whole lot of, well, you know, hey, we got to do something for real.
Well, you just said a whole lot because that's the whole thing. The moral values. You just said values. When you say values, I equate values to morals. So what do we do to go against all these stereotypes? Because we go into relationships with stereotypes. So what's the ideal companion? What's the ideal wife right now in this time and age when we dealing with so much adversity coming from the outside world? When you come home, it's supposed to be a place where you a refuge. So what's that ideal mate? What does that ideal mate major for you as a male?
I want somebody that understand culturally, politically, socially, economically, globally, and spiritually who we up against, right? And then understand that our situation won't get better until we make it better, right? And that we have to work together towards a common goal. Even if we have individual goals, we can back each other and support each other. We know our aimness is low. We need to determine who should go first, and then the other one go afterwards. And sometimes what the problem is, even when people do that, one blow up the other one, just like, all right, forget what you're talking about, get behind me. And that's selfish. But ideal woman for me is somebody who about winning, who about betting on themselves, not working within the system all their life. I'm talking about, for me, somebody who's spiritually inclined, that's not indoctrinated by all these different religions and whatnot, by all these different Eurocentric mindsets, and focus on building a black family and whatnot, and contributing to the black community. That's my ideal person that can communicate, that can listen, that's willing to be organized, articulate their goals, set examples, like right, like for instance, I did my spreadsheet out to Excel, you know, and I got my person, I got a nice Excel sheet with my personal budget I created from scratch, my credit cards, my loans, my budget, my personal budget, what have you, right? I took a picture, send to my people, they can look at it, right? Now I'm doing the same to my business, and just, because I need to see my financial picture, and I feel like some of the things I'm going through financially is because we wasn't on the same page, right? And like I said, I get it that people are like, oh, why you did it come up whereas when you feel like a person understand you and they get you, because if anybody know me, I can be loquacious. I can run my mouth, and like I can make a date upset me, right? But I'm so ambitious. Like, I mean, my people are speaking for how I was when you first met me and how I was thinking. Everything I said I want to do, I did it and more. Exceed. I didn't think about major TV. I exceeded that, right? But somewhere down the line, the communication, what I'm saying, got strained. When sometimes another thing, Trump want to say, when you succeeding and your significant other see you succeeding, that can work against you. You become counterproductive because now they thinking you getting all the praise and you getting the spotlight and what have you. So for me, I want somebody that think almost like me, not be me. I know we won't always agree, and just all the things I had, it could pass what I was saying about the spiritual part, the mental, emotional. Have that balance, right? And understand what we're dealing with, and let's build and fight. Because for me, I'm a fighter, man. I am a fighter, and I think that, and I gotta say this before I leave, and this is gonna be a question to y'all. Do y'all think we have a lot of good people in our community? Do we have real men and real women in our community? Because I think we do, but there's few, and you have a lot of confused, a lot of walking corpse. What I would call walking corpses, I hate to say it, don't take it the wrong way. You have a lot of people just living their life, don't have no goals, not planning. They just living, right? As soon as something happened bad, they don't even know why it happened bad. Or they have an idea, and then a lot of times they don't even try to fix it. So for me, I want somebody that's like-minded like myself.
Can I say that mindset is everything? Unlike America, Britain is not segregated to that extent. We have neighborhoods where there are where it's heavily black, but there are other races, so there's no segregation as such. However, what we do have is a high rate of interracial marriage, so much so that the African Caribbean community is reducing. Now, there's a lot of importance placed on Black family for what they have done. There's an agenda. Our adverts, they always show black and white. Children are always usually mixed race or biracial, as you call it. So to me, there's an agenda to whiten out the Black community as they did in Elizabethan times. So we have these attacks on the Black family. We do, and they are very insidious. Though we do have the attacks on the Black family. I do believe that there are gender wars because there's things to keep us apart here. A lot more subtle. I mean, I don't see it so much on the internet. It is very subtle, but it is there. Again, I go back to the dysfunction because we are raising children, and what are we raising children to be? Other communities actually tell their children, you stick with your own, we need to build. The Black community doesn't do that. It appears to me, well, I don't know about America, but it appears to me as if they welcome everybody. And I've heard of Black people here actually telling their children, do not marry Black partners, marry white because they will look after you. And that's very sad, very, very sad.
Yes, that is very sad. So that's why I'm never again saying tribe up. You know what I mean? Because of the historical whitewashing. And now here it is that, I was looking and researching on this topic. I was looking at the statistics, and they're telling us that here in the United States that our birth rate is really, really low. But in contrary, it's increased. We as African Americans, so-called African Americans, have increased. The amount of single family homes or amount of African American households in America has increased, not decreased. So they're playing these mind games with us, and they're spreading propaganda, and some of the propaganda that goes into this gender war is the propaganda that they're putting out on these reality TV shows, which goes over
Mm.
stereotypes. They're showing you how your relationship should be. Housewives of Atlanta, housewives of this state, or this city and this city. So these are they're telling you, okay, even the richest people, the most famous people, have these kind of conflicts in your relationship, and it's okay to break up. It's okay to mess around. It's okay to so because it's okay because it happens to everybody. It happens to the best of us per se. And so when we have that constantly bombarded in our face all the time, then that becomes the standard of how we're supposed to behave in our relationship, which is contrary to what, like the brother was saying, we have done traditionally. So we have to make a decision when we're interested in the individual. Are we going the traditional route, or are we going this route where we're going to lay and play and just go nowhere and have no future and have no goals? I mean, and that needs to be clear on both sides. That's why I say it's all about the communication and the expectations going into a relationship. Real talk. And
But
so,
then,
No,
going back to your question, Major, about are there good people in the community? I would say yes, they are, just based on the statistics that there are. I think they said about 37% African American two-parent households right now in the United States, but they want to have you believe that the majority of the households are are headed by poor black single mothers.
I mean, where I was coming from basically is like I really believe I only got a few good people. You know what I'm saying? I just really feel like in this world, like, and that don't make people bad. I just feel like that are really men and women. You have some people that just operating as a male and female. You know what I'm saying? Paying their bills, what have you, but have no dedication to community, you know what I'm saying, building, really not seeing the big picture, you know what I'm saying, a lot of looking out for self, because of a lot of things put out there. And I guess I probably misuse that, right? Like, like when I was in prison, right? Like I seen a lot of stuff, man, a lot. And I didn't see too many good people because they was already gone mentally, right? And when I came out in this world, and I'm looking at the churches, the black churches, I'm meeting people in a mind, like Jimmy said, a mindset. You know what I'm saying? To be a man and woman is totally contrary to society, because they want a man to be something else and they want a woman to be something else. You feel me? And the things y'all talking about, that the stereotypes, um, like I always say, right? We're in a society, or we in a world that won't tell you how to pray, what to believe, what to say, how to think, what you should do, and that's real. And that's against some people morals they have, and that's against really being a genuine person in reference to looking at things for what it is. We literally gotta wait till a court system make a decision or a law be passed by Congress, and then we have to obey that law. And they can be a totally contrast. So I just feel personally like not to really like make it seem like everybody is bad, but you have a lot of people that's messed up. And like you said about the narrative with the reality TV, what about the music? What about the movies? You know what I'm saying? What about the everyday conversation? What about education? What about out interacting with certain things that's just really spewing lies, that's really creating stereotypes and mindsets that's in our homes right now that we arguing and fighting about every day. You know what I'm saying? Someone on the street, corner arguing about stuff we have no idea what we're arguing about. So for me personally, I really feel like, like they got a handful of good people in our community in reference to under, understanding what's going on and their approach and trying to deal with it. But overall, I don't think everybody bad in our community. I'm not saying. I'm just saying people that's really being men and women that's trying to apply our culture to the best of their ability, traditional wise, trying to understand what's going on. And then, because like with me personally, I think the first thing that to answer your question earlier, I think imagery is everything. I think if you're gonna talk that talk, you need to walk it. So I think everything surrounding you should be about your culture. That's how I feel. I feel the way we should interact, should be on a positive note, how we can build and help and what have you. I'm talking about whether you meet somebody because you want to date them or you meet somebody for the first time and y'all building some kind of rapport. I feel like it should be positive. I should feel like it should be productive. I should feel like it shouldn't be no conversation about no LeBron James, about no basketball, football. I think it should be about community building. And my whole opinion, whether it's dealing with just two people or just dealing with a group, I feel like that's our mindset all the time. Not a lot of undertones, a lot of things in our community that don't really represent who we really are. Roland, you still ain't gonna say nothing?
Yeah, I'm just listening to y'all talk. You know me, man. Like a Jim Lee said, I'm chill. But
It's a
listen,
podcast,
here,
though, man. We need to be a part of it. We know what you think. You got me against two
yeah,
women. I hope you said something, brother.
All I've got to say on your specifically on your question, there are good people, and I know a lot of good people. There are other people that have no interest in black issues and just want to go along to get along. There are people doing work trying to save the youths here. There's loads of them. But they're still fighting against a system that wants the school to prison pipeline. And that also affects relationships because you have, I don't know about the States, but in England, you have a high concentration of young black men in prisons. So, of course, they're then leaving a family, some of them. And that is another thing that creates tension within a relationship.
So
um,
what about the influence? The
Hey,
gay
Roland wanted to say something. I heard him
say
say
what?
something. Roland
y'all
says,
found on something. I hear all we talking about this and that, but there's a cause and effect to all this. What caused this and it was affecting it? It was the government. When we was together somewhere in the 60s and the 70s, when the government saw true black love, they went to intervene, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna give you this if you give us that." So that's when the gender war start to can start to take form right then and there. When the government started giving out these subsidies and these Section 8 vouchers and this welfare and these food stamps saying, we don't want you with the man in the house. And before she let her children be home, or hungry, or her child be homeless, they put the man to the side because the government say put the man to the side. And as for good people in the communities, yes, they have a lot of good people, but they don't have a lot of conscious people that understand what's going on. They do a lot of conscious people that's about that understand what's going on. Anytime they have a Spanish assistant move right next door, then one move across the street and one move over there, and they think this is cool. They think that's cool. They don't understand we are being removed and superseded by people that they can control. Because now they can't control black people like they once can. We are not afraid of the system anymore. We're not afraid of the system. Now let me go back to say this. When I was saying gender wars is fought in the courtroom, remember you said earlier, yes, about child support. Gender, that's a gender war because my son and his, I don't know what you call a girlfriend or whatever it was, she put him on child support, and right now that's the black man poll tax. That's the black, they want 70% of his earnings. That's the black man poll tax. Then sister Jimly said her friend built all her assets, and the man ain't contributed one penny, and he got half of her money and stuff. That's another. All that was fought out in the courtroom. All that was fought out in the courtroom because we have not aligned our values and understanding with the woman or the man. We gotta come to, when you meet somebody, the communication is the key. You gotta ask them. All that playing around, what's your expectation of me? And I'm gonna ask her the same thing. I want to know this right now. We ain't going all that go back and forth and this and that build. I don't want to get in a relationship that end it like that. If I get married, it's forever. It's forever. It's to like that thing say, death do us part. Ain't gonna be all that nonsense because we have to build. We have to build.
So Roland, what's your ideal mate?
My ideal mate is one who I could come home and communicate with. I want her to just understand that I want you to push me as much as I'm gonna push you. That's my ideal mate. I ain't trying to say I can't give me no supermodel with a billionaire supermodel. No, that's not my ideal mate. I want a woman that can really push me, that understand my struggles. She gonna understand my needs. She gonna understand. I don't want her to give me my wants. I want her to be there for my needs and my struggles to lift me up because I'm gonna do the same thing for her.
But does she have to come to the table with something? Does she have to come to the table with something?
Yeah, she got to come to the table with something. Yes.
Like what? That's what I'm saying. Other than a listening ear, what else she got to do for you to say, yeah, I'm gonna marry you? What else does she have to bring to the table? Does she have to be a career professional? Does she have to be known as the baddest queen in the nation? What's her status?
The number one thing the sister got to bring to this table is respect. That's the first thing, because if you can't respect me and I can't respect you, that right there gonna terminate the relationship. The second thing sister got to bring to this table is some understanding, because if you don't understand that what we trying to do, if we ain't on, if our, we don't, let me put it like this, we can't collaborate on the same level of understanding, that gonna cause confusion. She gonna have to have certain traits. I ain't just talking about physical traits, but she got to be wise. She got to be educated. She ain't got to be a great cook, because I ain't a great cook. Because sometimes she probably can't tell to cook, and I might have to put something together. So it's not about that. Number one thing gonna be respect, understanding, and loyalty to this cause of making this work. That's the thing.
So you saying you would take a woman that got 7 kids, as long as she's loyal, she respects you. You know what I'm saying? All them things you just named. She's in like that's all she got to do. She got 7.
You added to the question, Akopi, because you didn't ask about the 7 kids initially.
Hey,
You added to the question.
The game.
You listen. That was an ambush, love. That was an ambush. That was an ambush. You ambushed Roland. I'm going to speak up for him. You ambushed him.
Roland, are you up for the challenge? Roland, are you up for the challenge?
Fire. Now, if I meet this sister, now, obvious, when we say we got to communicate, when she tell me she got 7 children and she could meet certain values, I ain't worried about them kids, because them kids might need a dad in their life.
Can I tell you, I have heard many black men say they will not pick up a woman with children.
Right.
I've heard many of them say that. But I think Roland's been put on the spot unfairly.
Roland,
let me finish. When I was detained within the prison system, a man came into my children's life tree and took over and done an excellent job. Excellent. He was way older than me, but he did an excellent job, and I commend him for that. So if this man can do that, and if I love this woman and she could meet I'm 53, 50, I mean I'm 55. I know all our children should be old,
I'm about to say,
because I can't get, huh? But that's why I say if I love this,
Tenderoni just said he's not looking for a
because
tenderoni.
them
He's
children
not
gonna be,
looking for a tenderoni with 7 kids.
no, I don't want no
Sorry, Akoti, we didn't
tenderoni.
hear
What
what
I'm
you
doing,
said.
I don't want no tenderoni now.
let's
No.
go to Jimmy and Cody, man. What y'all want out of man? Since y'all asking us that,
Yes.
what's your ideal
Respect.
man, Cody and Jimmy?
I'll go first because I ain't got one. Akoti's got one. My ideal guy will be someone who's got the same mindset as me, who's ambitious. He doesn't have to have no high value job. I just want someone who's loyal, who's honest, who's willing to work to improve himself. Doesn't matter where he is now, but he's willing to work with me to improve himself. Um, and he gives me respect and understanding as well.
That
And
sound like
under,
rolling right there.
and understand, shush you, and
Yes, you
understand
know.
and
What is she want?
understand that I'm family first. I'm family
You
first. I really am.
you can say all them other things. You want that understanding and respect first.
Yeah.
If he's not of your mindset, but he got a little knowledge, would he fit all the other qualities that you want? Would you accept going out with him?
So what? If he didn't have the same mindset?
Yes, he don't have a negative mindset, but he don't have a lot of information, a lot of knowledge. But he's a hard worker. He's a dependable person. He's reliable. He gonna cook.
Uh,
He gonna do all the things, but he don't have certain knowledge. He just don't have book smart. Would you go out with him?
yeah, I would. I would. I would.
Okay, so
One,
that
one.
And
means
then
you'll
you
take.
I have to
contradict
say,
yourself. You contradict yourself.
once he
You
can
contradict
hold a
yourself.
conversation, once he can hold a conversation, and you don't have to be book smart to be able to hold a conversation.
So he got long. He ain't got to have your mindset. Long as he can meet them other qualities and he can hold a conversation.
And he can hold a conversation, but then the mindset, because if he sees my mindset, he might come around to me because I'm not going to be doing anything negative. My mindset will be something because growth, evolve, change. Again,
Right.
I'm gonna have to stop here. If it's the person with the mindset that's not willing to grow, not willing to evolve, then I might have to kind of back off. So
Yeah, 'cause if you're not evolving, you're dissolving. You know, and I agree with that. But some people can't reach your mindset, but he gonna love you. He might love you harder than the person with your mindset.
well, you know what? If he's giving me the right kind of love, well, why not?
Okay, then. Oh, all right, we in agreement then, baby.
Roland said, "I'm gonna make love to your mind, sister."
I hear you
I'm gonna
rolling,
make
rolling,
love
talking
to
to you
your
right now,
mind.
Jimmy.
Akoti,
Oh,
come on. It's your turn now, love.
Wait, hold on. I want to just bask in that excellent interchange you guys had. I mean, Roland just invited to engage you to make love to your mind, sister. Did you get that?
Oh
no,
gosh,
no, no.
sorry.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes,
You
Jimmy,
yes,
know,
yes.
you and Roland, y'all need to cut that
Mhm.
out. Y'all need to cut that out. Y'all gotta cut it out. I come to both y'all behind the scenes, and I kind of question some of the things y'all say, but it's all good. I ain't gonna expose y'all like that. But it's good though. It's good.
oh, that was a good one. That was the best laugh I had this weekend. All praise to the Most High. But no, seriously, to answer the question, I'm old school for real. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. I'm old school. If you can't provide, we can't ride. I'm just saying, you gotta have some resources off top. You gotta be able to take care of me. I mean, I'm just saying, and you know, I'm just that person that say, I want to be pampered. That's what I'm used to. So you got to have a source of income, and You got to be able to take care of business. I don't need you to have to call a contractor every time something breaks down in the house. I mean, because now you're taking from the kitty. You know what I'm saying? So you need to be resourceful. You know, you need to be able to pick up a wrench. You know, you need to know what a screwdriver is. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. That's the kind of man I want. A man, don't it? That's you know.
But I'm sure I heard Roland say hard worker.
That
So
sounds like
when he
Roland
says
right there, yo.
hard
I
worker,
just
I'm
told I say
expecting.
that. Say that.
I'm
Yeah.
sure I heard. Sorry, go on.
So yeah, that's about it. That's and then if you could do that, plus
Ma'am,
be
I'm
affectionate, plus
not-
be affectionate at the same time, have some compassion, show some compassion, then you probably get my ear. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I'm easy like Sunday morning.
But then,
That's not
isn't this a
yeah,
two-way?
to a certain extent.
Isn't this a two-way street? We both look after each other.
right.
My question to you, Akoti.
Oh, for sure. That goes without saying, sister. Like
Okay.
I don't know. Well, I'm a coach. That's all I can say. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm saying is, of course, if you show me that love and affection, my nature is to return that. You know,
Well,
it's
look,
just my nature just to return that love and affection that's what you give to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we should go to comments. It's been over an hour. Jennifer Greer called us out for not responding to comments. Let's build up the comments. I'm gonna let Cody go through the comments and whatnot. But yeah, this is quite a few comments. I want to thank everybody that's viewing and please like and share.
Yeah. Shouts out to Escape from Alcatraz. Escape from Alcatraz says, I noticed a gender war on YouTube around 2017. Tommy Sotomayor and Cynthia, can't really, Cynthia G were becoming rich, bashing black men slash women. Well, I do remember that little controversy, but thankfully for the YouTube community, for the black community, those two people are no longer on YouTube, but they no longer have channels. So thanks for that. Yeah, I don't think that started the whole bashing thing. What you think, Jemele?
Well, I only again came across this gender black men bashing black women primarily on YouTube. I know there was some negativity, but not to the extent that I saw it on YouTube and on social media. And yes, Cynthia G and Tommy Sotomayor are no longer on YouTube.
Right. So shouts out to Geneva Greer, long time no see. Maybe I missed you last live. I don't know. But salute to you, sister, for tuning in. She says, if a man and woman are together, especially living together and love one another, the only thing left is surviving. Roland, do you agree with the statement?
Yes.
You
Yes.
care to expound?
But what does she mean by the only thing left is surviving? Because that seems to imply that it's got to be a struggle. It doesn't have to be a struggle, unless I'm misreading what the sister's saying.
She says because a woman make more, so what she still needs to be the woman and vice versa. Because a woman
Yes.
makes more, so what? She still needs to be the woman and vice versa. So that's, I don't think that's answering that part.
So hold on. So does the sister mean that because for the most part women earn more money, but she still needs to be her feminine self, and the man still needs to be the man no matter what?
I
Is
think
that what the sister means?
I think so. I do think so. What do you think?
Okay.
Majors is still in the house, so I think he might have left.
I agree. I agree. I agree with everything she said. You know what I'm saying? And how you interpret it, right? And for me personally, once you're together, you have to try to make the relationship survive. You know what I'm saying? Work out whatever kinks you're going through. If you're going through something, to focus on the primary goal about building a real strong family as well as generational wealth.
Relationships
So
gonna go through things. You're gonna go through your struggles in a relationship.
yeah,
You're gonna
and
go
I
through 'em.
agree. But the real testimony or the real test is if can you survive those hard times. That's why they say for better or for worse, right? Not from when it's just all sunny days, but when those rainy days or when it's storming outside. When are you gonna be there? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna run and hide?
And
Right,
then
right.
and then the sister goes on, Akoti. She
Yeah.
says,
And if children were involved, they need to set examples for their survival of the black man and woman. Women need to uplift our black men because those other people want the black man to fall. Yes,
absolute
I do
truth.
agree.
Absolute truth.
I
I
can't tell you.
agree.
I can't
Powerful,
tell you.
powerful,
I can't
powerful.
tell you how many times there's some black men that's online, so-called content creators or whatnot, that I disagree with, but I just refuse to go there, right? Because that's my brother. You know what I mean? So yeah, I totally agree. We have to uplift them, and if I can't give a voice to uplift them, I'm definitely not gonna tear them down. That's Thank you for that, Sister Geneva.
Well said.
Wait, I like this comment too. She said, and if children are involved, they need to set examples for their survival of the black man. Oh, I
You
just read
already,
We,
that.
you
Yeah, I
we've
already.
read
read that already.
that. Yeah, I told you I liked it. Calm down. So let's see. Exactly. 100. See, exactly. I'm going through the comments. Shout out to Sister Dee. Shout out to Sister Dee. Thank you so much for tuning in, Sister Dee. Let's see what else we got. So I think she's responding to the video. She said, Geneva said, I agree with the young man in the video, and we need to focus on us and our children and to start back eating dinner with the family. An important conversation will come. Oh yes, that's so important. Roland, how about that? What do you think?
Yes, I'm agreeing with that.
It's
I'm
clear that
so
once you eat as a family, you're gonna communicate, and isn't that not one of the main things in relationships to communicate? Sorry, Roland, I cut you.
no, you didn't. You didn't cut me. I was told talking to my granddaughter,
Oh,
telling her
okay.
go. Yeah, you didn't say anything, but I'm in total agreement because you could communicate with. They say not just a family that pray together, stay together, but a family you got to communicate. You have to communicate. If you lack a that's communication got us together, and communication gonna keep us together. Yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree on that one.
100%.
And then Geneva was on fire in the chat. She said, "Yes, Major, they are putting everyone else around us, like smothering us in, as in putting us to a standstill." Oh wow, Major, come
I
on
have
in on that.
I have to say they are doing that here with the migration. We have a large amount of single Afghan, Iraqi, and other males, and then they've got the Ukrainians and they've got the Eastern Europeans, all of whom can assimilate easily. We cannot.
I definitely agree as well. That's why I made the statement.
Well, I think that they know they had this all planned out from the beginning. That's why Biden slipped up and made the statement he made when he was running the first time, when he said that that the Mexicans were going to outnumber us, soon. So he knew that that was all a plan, and that's why they have plans to allow them to take over neighborhoods, so they can be able to have addresses, so they can get IDs, so they can get voters, right? So when in most states, when you apply for an ID, you can select if you want to vote, right? So now you have a voter's registration because now you have an address. All of this is been in their plan. So yeah, it's definitely causing us to be at a standstill because I wouldn't blame a business owner to go ahead and take someone at a cheaper rate as far as paying them for the job, and that's causing a rift in the black families as well, in black relationships as well, because now this man is out of a job. All of a
That's
sudden,
right.
all of a sudden we live in paycheck to paycheck. Now the woman looking at you like you wear your part. Wear your part. She don't want no excuses because what she used to what she's used to, right? So as a man, you got to step up in there and make some kind of compensations and go out there and get what you can to provide for your family to make that woman whole because that's what she's used to. I'm just saying.
But what did I
See,
say earlier about an agenda and a plan, Akoti? If you recall earlier, I talked about a particular agenda.
Right, an agenda to get basically.
Remember, I talked about, especially in this country, they push interracial relationships on televisions. I'm talking about people that can come in and replace us. I'm talking about the African Caribbean family community over here decreasing because of the amount of interracial relationships. I think, which at 2011 was 88%. It was at 88%, and they have not done a census since 2011. And to me, it is an agenda because it's what we see on the television, it's what they push. And as I said, when you see Black children, it's always mixed race children.
Wow,
So,
I mean, they want you to see that that's the face. Um, that's the face of the community. This is what this community look like, right?
yeah,
Right. So it's just the total whitewashing all over again. Like they're doing it everywhere. They're doing it
yeah,
everywhere, and it is causing division in our relationships.
of course it is. Of course it is.
Yes. Even
And it's sad. As I said earlier, it's sad. It's sad. But again, how do we fight something like that? Because you have some Black people that absolutely co-sign it.
right. Well, that part too. You made a valid point there. Roland, let's
I'm
give a shout
listening.
shout out to Leonard Peel. Leonard Peel said, "Overstand. We are being held hostage." Talk to the brother.
I don't think we're being held hostage. We just not making a move. We understand what we're up against. We understand what we're up against. Or what are we doing to combat what we're up against? We're up against a system that's been oppressing us for now going on 600, 700 years since we came over here to United, well, from the West, all these countries, even over there where Jimble at. We gotta come together. We are not being held hostage. We can leave. It's not those olden days when they was just say, let's go. They go to another state, send the bloodhounds and bring them back to the plantation. We can leave. We can leave. We can leave, but we aren't supposed to leave because this is our country just as much as this is our country. They came over here and found us here and put us in a condition that we're trying to get out of. I'm not gonna understand the brother's situation, the brother that he's feeling like he's out. It's not out. You just gotta take the initiative to overcome those that's overcome came you. That's all. It's hard. It's hard, but you can do it. You built for this. You built for this. Don't never let them see you sweat. Don't never let them see you sweat. Do what you gotta do to come out of your situation, no matter what. Don't you never give up, brother. Never, never give up.
Sister Geneva says that it's still that we as blacks are still on the plantation, but not on the plantation. If you get her drift,
But we
Yes, I
are.
know.
I agree, we are. We are. And if I tell you what's happened, I mean, I know this is a bit outside of relationship, but if I tell you what's happened to me at my workplace recently, I still know I'm on the plantation because I'm being told I have to do a particular thing. But, that's outside of this, but I won't go into it any further. But yes, she's absolutely right.
Look, I agree that we're on a plantation. I agree with hostage. I just feel like there's no way you can go in this country where you're going to be treated fair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Nowhere
right.
in the country. I mean, it's like I drive. I drove cross country. I don't drive cross country, but I'm gonna say this much here, right? You can go in the rural areas, you can feel the racism. You can feel the black people and the power, you know what I'm saying, of whites power that be that's controlling predominantly black rural areas and stuff like that. I mean, it's been hitting me for years. Like I've been like, you can feel a feel. You can people know they're in place and they check. You know, and the city's a little different, but the same way. Only thing the white people did, the white flight after World War II and took the jobs and the money and created suburbans that's almost like cities, right? And they got us all piled up after World War I. We ran to up north to the cities and whatnot, and thought it was going to be a promise of a better opportunity, which is the same thing. It's not the police to police us and keep us in check. You know what I'm saying? That's not occupation. What we see in these cities, whereas how they would target black people in inner cities, but won't do that in suburban areas, you know, and whatnot. It's a travesty, you know what I'm saying? To see how when they usher you to court, you automatically get to plead guilty, you know what I'm saying? And you don't even have to be guilty of a crime, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these offenses they create and a lot of things they create, it's always been to put us in a position where they're gonna lock us up. That's like right now with this governor in Louisiana, what he's doing, we're taking away parole from certain crimes and eliminating good time or trying to water it down. This is real stuff that's really going on in these states and what have you. And then Mississippi had a law they just passed, whereas I forgot how it's worded, but like they can appoint it without the power to get permanent, whoever want to put in the judgeship and be there for forever, and the community don't even have involvement. It's stuff going on. I just learned that Mississippi just would abolish slavery. You know, it was in law. They just abolished like in 2013, but it was in their law books, slavery was still legal. So it's things have happened. Like you gotta realize the reason why you don't see a bunch of on manufacturing businesses and we producing a lot is because of they it's like I don't know we know this, but our mind been fixated to think a certain kind of way, get certain kind of jobs, start certain kind of business. It's certain things we won't even touch as a people. When we see somebody touching something, we be like, wow, he doing what? Because we ain't programmed like that. We programmed to do certain things. That's why you see a bunch of nurses, you see a bunch of people doing hair. You know, you see certain things because certain arenas it costs money. You know what I'm saying? And because we don't have um, many investment groups, we got a few of them, black investment groups. You know what I'm saying? We limited as far as you know how far we can take it, and then we don't have the banking. If we don't have the banking from the black banks or the lending institution or the government, you know, it's like people scared to take them chances, you know. So it's a real situation we got going on with being on plantation and also being hostage because where we go, we still face them same things that we do it every day.
Yes,
Again,
on the plantation every day when you go to, go on your job and
yeah,
you have to do whatever the white man say do on that job in order to get what that paycheck in order to do what to take care of that family. So or just to take care of yourself. So definitely this whole United States is still a plantation. Like because you got to get a passport like Leonard said. Like right here Leonard said a felon can't get a passport. This is just one cause. Like that's yeah. So a felon can't get a passport that you can't leave this country without one. Why do I have to have if I'm free? Why do I have to have a passport to leave the country? I should be free to move around. I'm just saying.
Let's finish the comments so we can close out, y'all. We've been
Geneva Greer said the blacks that co-sign the mixed love, they think that they're getting something better or think they will be treated better.
absolutely, they do. But then that Toby Obumseli found out that that's not the case. He spent his teenage years denigrating black women, and then it was the white woman that he loved so much that killed him in the end, unfortunately.
Leonard Pierce said Geneva Greer was right. Too many of us co-signing this, like the Dixie. I think he's been the Dixiecrats. And I think he's
Yes.
talking about Geneva Greer saying about the mixed race people, children, right? The blacks that co-sign the mixed love, they think that they're getting something better, or think that they will be treated better. That's an interesting concept. Do you think that people go over to the other side because they're going to be treated better? Wow.
Well, not
I
only
don't
do
hear.
they think they're going to get treated better, they think it's a come up. If I have
I
that person
heard.
on my arm, I will be seen differently, and I will be, my status, my social status will rise. Some of them think like that. I've
Wow.
actually, yeah,
Most of the
Hmm.
sisters in Congress got a Caucasian on their own.
yeah,
I don't hear many women have said that they have a better opportunity at succeeding if they have the white man on their own. Yes, I don't heard that many times.
well,
And when that's just
most
a
of
bunch of
most of our black MPs in the UK, in our parliament, have white partners. Most of them. In fact, I don't think I know one that's got a black partner, to be quite honest. Even the most vocal one has a white partner. Yeah.
yeah.
So it is seen as a come up. And I don't know, like your basketball players, our football players who are earning millions, all white partners for the most part. Our actors, white partners for the most part. At least you've got some variation, but once they reach a particular echelon, they're going white.
Right.
Geneva
Yep.
Bird said that America is the biggest plantation. And she said, y'all have a blessed day and be safe.
Thank you.
Thank
Right.
you.
You too,
All right.
sister. Thank you for coming through. Long time no see. Thank you for supporting the platform. Please
And
subscribe.
so that's it. So that's it on the comments, Major.
Yeah, well, with that being said, we want to thank everybody that's viewing. We about to give our last. Let's try to do it within like 2-3 minutes. Um, our take on everything. You know what I'm saying? And last words. I want to thank everybody listening. Please like, share, and comment on Major TV. Let's talk concern versus. Cody speaks and news, facts, and comments.
Well, I'll just go ahead and bite the bullet and go first. I will say that reality TV shows is not our reality. We need to learn how to conversate with one another, and also to be have patience enough to allow each other to grow into the expectations that we set in our relationships. We cannot allow jealousy to turn to envy, and for envy to turn to hate in our relationships, because that's very toxic. So we have to be aware of the outside influences that may change and shape your relationship. And so look for common ground when you're looking for your mate, and that will definitely ward you off from being involved in a gender war in your relationship. And with that, I say I love you all with the love of Yahuwah. Thank you so much, Major, and the rest of the panel. As usual, Mr. Roland, Queen, and Jimale. God bless
Thank
you.
you.
Be blessed, sister.
So who wants to go next?
You can go next. Ladies
Okay.
first.
Okay. All right. I just want to say black love is key, because black love leads to black families. Black families leads to a strong community. And from there we can build. We did it in the past, and I think we can do it again. But again, we have to stop soaking in all the negativity that's placed upon our communities. We did it before, we can do it again. Black love, black family, black community. Peace and love. And thank you, Major, for having me as always.
I'm in agreement with what the gentleman said. We need more black love We need more black leaders, true black leaders, and we gotta constantly push the black agenda. Cause right now the white agenda is being pushed on a high level.
Major.
I want to thank everybody on the panel. Great discussion. And by the way, I don't have no problem disagreeing with me. I don't know everything. I'm just coming from a place, you know what I'm saying, that I've experienced as well as what I've seen and what I'm hearing. Um, I want to thank everybody viewing. I want to thank everybody that's commenting. I want to thank I just want to thank you all just because I know that this is a community thing. This is not a Major and Jimmy, a Cody or a Roland thing. It's a community thing. And for me, and close, I'm gonna say this, right? We don't always have to agree, we can disagree, but we have to have a single focus mindset in reference to achieving our goals, and our main goals is mainly preserving family, right? Our main goal is keeping our spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical together, to be able to be on top of our finances, to be able to communicate and build. Because if you can't start with you first, and then um the person in your life and your immediate family, your children and whatnot, and building a strong family, there's a problem. You have to deal with that. And then on top of that, once your family is blessed and brought to a level of excellence, you want to transfer the love. You want to encourage other black families and if it's in our community that need encouragement and to keep them focused on doing what's right for themselves in our community because this is a community thing. And as far as the situation and relationships, as well as in our community, we have to understand that we are we are in a very peculiar situation that we've been in for a very long time. There's so much history documented about what we've been through and the travesties and whatnot of racism, discrimination, and so forth, more. And now that we're dealing with um a new type of mindset in our community, whereas things have become so dead that we have to work out our differences, communicate, listen, and have a again single mind focus to achieve the desired goals. Because if we don't do that, you know, we may not be extinct as far as physically, but mentally we're gonna be extinct. With technology, AI, and all this stuff that's moving fast around us, we have to understand that not only we have to keep up, we gotta be ahead. You know what I'm saying? So if I made any sense today, just understand that only thing I'm trying to say to everybody listen to the sound of my voice is that we gotta take care of each other. We gotta build. We have to make nothing out of something. We gotta see who we have in front of us and we got to make sense out of it. That's all. And from me on a personal standpoint, that's what I'm doing. Like I have no problem doing self-inventory and looking back and seeing what damn I could have did this or I need to do this. Or let me correct something. Let me get my situation straight. Because sometimes it's not always that person you with. Sometimes it's you. Not looking at the person in the mirror and realizing, damn, you know what I'm saying? I could have did it this way or I could have said it that way. So with that being said, again, I want to thank everybody and continue to tune into us. We have a new podcast, Concern Versus, on YouTube. Of course, you got Major TV, you got Cody Speaks, as well as news, facts, and comments. All is on YouTube. And we also have a black media platform, newsfactscomments.net. They have everything on there. I mean, from articles, um, interviews, and what have you, and so forth. So on. We probably start transferring podcast videos on the website. But go check out all of that. You know what I'm saying? And like and share. Like and share. Subscribe if you're new to our platform. Hit the notification bell to get content. We drop stuff all the time. Thank you so much for the love and support. Y'all take care. Stay safe. Just be you. Peace.
Peace, brother.
Good
Peaceful.
night.
One for the money, you know what it is. Two for the show, yeah, we shut it down. Three just to make sure you ready. Four 4, let them know that we run this town. 1 for the money, you know what it is. 2 for the show, yeah, we shut it down. 3 just to make sure you ready. 4, let them know that we run. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You are now tuned in to the greatest. The greatest of all time. The greatest of all time.
I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna be better.
1 for the money, you know what it is. 2 for the show, yeah, we shut it down. 3 just to make sure you ready. 4, let them know that we run this town. 1 for the money, you know what it is. 2 for the show, yeah, we shut it down. 3 just